All right, I want to understand Comptroller Jason Mumpower is lobbying to change the reappraisal cycle from a 4 to 6 year cycle to a 2 to 4 year cycle.
Correct.
Why?
And so Jason Mumpower came out in, I guess it would have been about October of last year, with an article that stated because of the vibrant market in Wilson County and Williamson County and several other counties, that the county is losing tax dollars. And he is correct. He is correct about that, because one of the things that is required when you operate a reappraisal cycle is once those values are set, our next reappraisal is 2026. So once those values are set as of January 1, 2026, they will hold for a 5-year period. They can't be changed. It is commonly called spot reappraisal unless there is a physical change to the property. Then you're allowed to inspect it, then you're allowed to update it. But what Comptroller Mumpower didn't talk about, which is what I've discovered, is that significant properties in our jurisdiction aren't paying their fair share in taxes. And so when we stop and think about just what occurred with our own county commission and the discussion of raising the wheel tax 200%, the discussion of raising our tax rate and shortening the reappraisal cycle, it is obvious that we need change. And I am the change that we need. And I'm the friend that the local property owner wants, because I'm willing to advocate for them first and foremost.
Now, what would this change? What would that do? Define that a little more.
Okay, so the change I'm looking for is, first of all, self-sufficiency, and I'll go back to that. So when Mumpower identified the counties that needed to go to an annual reappraisal cycle, he identified Wilson County, he identified Rutherford County, he identified Williamson County, he identified Knox County, he identified counties that are all on their own, all self-sufficient. They run their own offices, they run their own reappraisals, they do everything from inception to completion. And so Wilson County right now, we are the second wealthiest county, only to Williamson County. So for us to be compared to those counties, and we are like the 13th largest county as far as parcel numbers, it shows that we've got to be independent. If we're not independent, then we are at the beck and call of the Division of Property Assessment. And who knows Wilson County better than us? We live here, we worship here, we send our children to school here, so that should be in our control. And surely, if Rutherford County can do it, if Williamson County can do it, if Knox County can do it, then Wilson County can do it with the right leadership.
So this is something that you would, this is a change you would make?
Absolutely. The first thing that I would do my first 90 days, if the people of Wilson County see fit to elect me, is first of all, I'm going to get to know the staff. I'm going to get to know their strengths, their weaknesses, what appraisal certifications and designations they have. The State Board of Equalization has a education program for all 95 assessors' offices in Tennessee. So I want to know whether they have taken the time to ensure that they are competent at this job, just as I have. The State Board of Equalization offers 5 appraisal certifications. I have all 5. The highest being the Tennessee Master Assessor. I've got it. The IAAO, the International Association of Assessing Officers, oversees assessors' offices internationally. I've got their AAS, the Assessment Administration Specialist designation. So what I have done is I have purposefully prepared myself for nearly 28 years for this opportunity and looking forward to being able to serve the people of Wilson County.
Now, let me ask this change that you're talking about. There's several questions come to mind here. This is something you feel very strongly about. What would be the immediate benefit from this?
The immediate benefit from this is control. And with control comes accountability. So I'm happy to have the control because I'm willing to accept the accountability. So the first thing it would be is that we would ensure that everything is transparent, because right now, if a property owner goes to the assessor's office, wants to sit down and talk to them about their value, the assessor and their staff, they can do that to a certain degree, but they didn't develop the base rates. So that is a phone call that they have to Nashville to get some information. If they want to talk about our sales ratio and look at the sales package and know where are the hot areas in Wilson County statistically, I mean, we know them by watching development and things like that. That's not a report that our current assessor or their staff can perform. They've got to call somebody downtown in Nashville and say, hey, I've got somebody coming in. I need this report. Can you take care of that for me? And so in this day and age, once again, with us being the second wealthiest county in Tennessee, the 13th largest, and examples of independence around us in Rutherford, Knox, and Williamson, we have to make those strides so Wilson Countyans will trust us and it will be more transparent what we are doing.
Well, I take it that you strongly believe that to do this, we would certainly be better in the long run. I'm wondering, what would it take to implement this? And are we talking about more personnel in the office? Is it going to cost the county more to do this, especially on the front end?
Well, first of all, I would have to look at the budget to see if it's going to cost us more. I would then have to look at the appraisal staff and see what they are competent and capable of. If they're competent and capable, then we can roll from day one with that staff. But if it takes training and getting that staff up to speed, you're absolutely right. But those are some of the things that I can't really answer until I see the staff, until I see what the current budget is, what things are earmarked for, and what changes I think need to be implemented and how we can get there. As the leader, it is the leader's job to cast the vision and then work towards accomplishing those goals.
Well, from what you're saying here, I've not really heard a lot about this, so I'm a little bit ignorant here, maybe. But I think you're saying that to implement this, the appraisal is going to be done more often on certain properties, meaning we would have more money and have it coming in sooner. Now, is that sort of a fair statement?
Yes, that is, because ultimately what we want to do is ensure that all property is valued appropriately and correctly, and that gives us a solid tax base. And of course, the reappraisal cycle, I would say that we should immediately go to a 4-year cycle and then a 3-year cycle if possible. I could lead a 3-year cycle because I have the expertise, I have the experience. And so what I'm saying to Wilson County is that I'm the man for the job. And I've got to make this point. I have been going through looking at several properties, and what I've identified is that Coleman, we're about approximately $4,300,000 short, a shortfall due to properties being undervalued. And I'm going to just give you one example just so you can see this. And it is a significant difference. So this property is 660 South Mount Juliet Road. It sold for $12,540,000 in December of 2020. It is on the roll for $7,127,500. And so what I'm saying to you is their base tax is $54,000. Their base tax, correct base tax, based off of their sales price would be $95,800 over a 5-year period. That's a difference of $206,000 to the tax base. So when we start talking about increasing the wheel tax, when we start talking about increasing the tax rate, when we start talking about shortening the reappraisal cycle, all of this works together to solidify our county. But if we have property owners who are not paying their fair share because they are less than their sales price, that's always going to be problematic, and we're seeing it today.
Okay, we've come to the end of our time. I'm going to give you a minute here to summarize. Tell the people listening why you should be the next assessor of property.
I should be the next assessor of property because I am the most qualified individual. I have spent 28 years preparing myself for this opportunity. I am fiscally conservative, socially moderate. And so I am the one who can lead us through these problems that we're incurring. Quite candidly, we can't do another reappraisal cycle like the last one in 21 and believe that we won't be negatively affected. And so what I ask you to do is I ask you to get out and vote, early voting, July the 12th through the 27th, and on August 1, Election Day. And so if you want to find out more about Derrick, you can go to derrickhammond.com. I'm happy to get out and meet with you, happy to have those conversations. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I just want everyone to pay their fair share of taxes like I am. I am not suggesting a tax increase. Just simply everyone should pay their fair share.
Thanks for being with us this morning. We appreciate your visit.
Thank you very much.
Derrick Hammond, the Democratic nominee for Assessor of Property. And that's it for Wednesday. Hope you'll join us tomorrow. Till then, I wish you a wonderful day.